done with all those teams. Now we got to talk about the inside the NBA, who's going to be the last season on TNT, 2024 to 2025.
18 Emmys. They've won 18 Emmy Awards. I know Coach don't like it. They won 18 Emmy Awards with that show. Here's my hot take. Podcast. Who wouldn't watch? Maybe Coach wouldn't. But if they leave, you get those 4 guys. You have a YouTube podcast. It breaks all records. Put it on a different TV channel. It doesn't matter. Do the pregame, do the halftime, do the postgame. I want those 4 guys entertaining me more. It's like hanging out with your boys, talking about basketball. Chuck and Shaq are hilarious. Kenny is phenomenal. I love when he runs to the board, analyzing and doing the coaching stuff too. And then you got Ernie. I mean, it's been 18 Emmy Awards. That's amazing. And it's still not over. It's still not over. There's still, jockeying around with this contract. How's it going to end up? Who's going to get these games? Who's going to get that games? I don't see inside the NBA these 4 guys going away forever. I think they could reinvent that show and it'd still be popular. I would tune right into YouTube after the game if they were on every game. So I shout out to them. Technically right now, I think that we still have next year as the final year with that show. But there's still a lot of chips to fall for finalization with these TV contracts.
Yep, and you cannot forget there were some NBA players, current NBA players, that were appear on that podcast to fill in, like a Draymond Green type.
Oh yeah, when they brought people, yeah. The women, they brought women on to come and talk shop. It was always a blast. It's like hanging with your boys talking about hoops, and they mix comedy into it more, and that's what I like. They do their little skits. They make you laugh. It's more than just, here's what happened in the game and here's what I think about it. And it's not what you get on a lot of ESPN, which is yelling and screaming and here's hot take just to get a click and a like and a view and all that bullshit, making news out of nothing. So, I don't want to debate.
No. Nikki?
Oh, man. Such a shame because that's such a fun show, man. Like, every time it's tuned in to hear those guys, it felt like a breath of fresh air compared to a lot of the other stuff you hear on sports media. Now they know that it's not going to be on the air, it's kind of a shame. I mean, hopefully they'll do something afterward. They'll at least have some platform to keep things going. I mean, reminds you like with Shannon Sharp. I mean, even when he was on FS1, he was a bit of a breath of fresh air, actually, to see not only him talk about football, but basketball as well. As a football guy, that was interesting. May not have agreed with everything he said, but hey, it was something different. But he still has his own platform now, Club Shay Shay.
Yeah.
And hopefully these guys right here will be able, Shaq and them will be able to do their own thing. If Shaq does his own thing, he'll definitely get views for sure. Because he's Shaq. He's that larger-than-life personality going back to his playing days.
Correct.
And then he can have different guys. And go ahead, floor's yours, Coach.
Go for it.
Butterfly. The reason why the guys are leaving is it's about the economics. It's business. TNT might not be able to pay for or get a contract because ESPN, what is it? ESPN, NBC, and I think it's one more. I think it's 3 networks are outbidding TNT for the right. So basically, that's what it is. So I get it. I understand why everyone loves them all. To me, they're not the number one analyst. It's always Big Perk. I love his. I love him.
I gotta go. I'm sorry, guys.
I love Big Perk. Sorry.
What? Big Perk.
Yes, I love Big Perk.
I'm dead.
Shaq. Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, this is the reason why.
Opinion, bro.
No. Here's the reason why. Because and a lot of this deals with, you're going to say it's because I'm a Knicks fan, but the amount of Knicks hate, they're not fair when it comes to the Knicks. That's my problem with them. Kenny is a New Yorker, and he only jumped on the bandwagon this year. Prior to that, they're always ripping. Shaq was a Knicks fan growing up, but he acts like he hates the Knicks. And I get it, as far as the competition. That's my issue. I love Ernie. Now, I do love Ernie. Ernie is fair across the board. But that's my problem with them. Barkley, he's a Sixer, so that's why he's always going to take digs at the Knicks, and I get it. I get it with him, and I don't have too much an issue. I mean, sometimes he is terrible, but
Sure.
my biggest issue is the fairness across the board. Criticize the Knicks when they deserve it, but you need to also give them the love and the respect that they do, and they don't. It's like they're sarcastic when they do it, and that rubs me the wrong way. Now, when you have Candace on there, Candace can be a little bit on their side, but she is fair because she's trying to feel her way, but everyone else is fair across the board. Now, if you're talking about the whole show in its totality, not just Ernie and Barkley and Kenny, then all right, you have a valid point. But if you're basing it strictly off of them, Big Perk, I like Big Perk because he's real.
He sucks his teeth. He shakes his head.
Exactly.
Says,
I love it.
Look,
I love it. I love it. I love it.
People get their point across. I'm not gonna let you talk. I'm Big Perk now. I'm gonna be Big Perk.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That's all he does, man.
No,
He's
he
smart,
doesn't.
basketball smart. I'm not knocking his
No.
basketball knowledge, but the way he comes across is so unprofessional all the time. So you're contradicting yourself, Coach. You don't like the unprofessionalism of like Shaq and Kenny and those guys.
I didn't say the
unprofessional man on TV.
Blaze.
How they joke around and how
I
talk
did
about
not
your
say
name.
the
You got Stephen A, man. You can have Stephen A.
Blaze. I never said
I know you didn't say they were
unprofessional.
Bringing the first take here.
Okay. I said that they're not fair. So,
but you can
as far as Perk, you want to talk about being in a barbershop? That's what you get when you're going to where
I
go going to the barbershop.
Beard. That's what you get.
Nah.
The soul glow in your beard.
You go into the barbershop like you and I are doing right now. We're going back and forth. This is what you get when you go into the barbershop.
That's why I'm doing it because I'm setting an example.
No, I know that.
This is what I like about NBA talk when people get like me and Coach do.
Exactly.
That's what I love. When when Shaq and Barkley are making fun of each other, same thing that Perk and them guys do with Stephen A and Shay and those. I love that shit. I want it to be not so stiff and presenting, and here's the NBA reasons for today. Yeah, I love the fun part of it too, Coach. So don't get me wrong. I'm with you on the fun part and stuff, but man, it's gonna be a sad day if those guys don't get to handle it.
I feel for you guys, not for me. Not fair. No. Now, see, if they were legitimately fair, then yes, you were right. And I think some of it I do think it's because of the years of the Knicks. And there are people who are saying it's just like the Dallas Cowboys. You're just waiting for them to let you down. And I get it. But as a Knicks fan, you're just like, nah, I just got to ride with my squad.
But see, Coach, you're an anomaly, and I'm sure you know this, just like Mitch is with Philly fans, because Philly Eagles fans are the worst fans on the planet. Knicks fans can be shitty as hell, too, and they have been for a long time. Yes. So you guys are like the exceptions to the rule because you're real. You'll look at both sides. You're not just going to homer. Knicks fans have been pains in the ass for a long, but when they were really good, they're obnoxious. And you know that, just like Eagles fans. They're all assholes. They're all abrasive and brash. But we got a lot of exceptions to those rules here in the Hardcore Sports Network. I'll say that right now. But my whole life, I've lived and seen that, how they're two of the most hated fan bases on the planet overall. But I get where you're coming from, and I love it. I fucking love it.